All right, what's up, everyone? Now, firstly, there's something thoroughly ironic about the fact that I have a YouTube channel focusing on technology. You can actually probably think of many reasons why that is ironic. But the biggest irony is the fact that I literally have no idea. The most difficult thing for me is to stream on YouTube, to figure out how to stream video and audio to the YouTube system is the most difficult thing in the world for me. I have literally been here since 10 o'clock trying. Well, it's YouTube's fault, frankly. I'm not that much of a boomer. But I have been looking, like trying to get this thing working because you have to turn a million things on. And so for 10 minutes, I was talking to the webcam. Just like no one in the, like, it was even streaming to YouTube, but YouTube didn't start the stream because you have to click this other thing. Anyway, I'm a tech retarded boomer. That's all I have to say. So yeah, okay. Things are actually working now. That, hopefully. So I'm in an undisclosed location right now. All right, it looks like people are actually here. Okay, see, I started the stream before. I started streaming before. On my side, I looked at YouTube and I saw my video, my face moving. I was like, oh, okay, well, I must be streaming. No, that's not how it works. There's some other stupid thing in YouTube you have to click. And every time you do a stream, they have to redo everything. I hate this thing. Anyway, same rules as always in a live stream. I'm going to talk about whatever's new. I'm also going to answer questions and donations. So donate here. Do not donate. I mean, you can give a super chat, but that's the inferior way of donating because YouTube takes 30% of that because they're YouTube. Okay. Anyway, I am in an undisclosed location now. I've actually been traveling, but I was with a friend this morning. Actually, I was staying with some friends over the past couple days. And I also went to the beach. I'm a little darker than usual, as you can tell. I'm actually a little burnt. It doesn't really show. I don't know. Maybe if I turn off the... Does it? I don't know. I don't know. Is that light better? Maybe it's more atmospheric like this. I might like this. Either way, so same rules as always. Donate. I'll read donations, and I might read the chat. Okay, so firstly, news. A couple days ago, I put out that video on my book project. Okay, so for those people who haven't been watching those videos where I talk about this, for the past a year or so ago, I decided to do this little project that I wanted for myself where I reprint out of print books. Okay, very simple stuff. There are other people who do it, but they do it badly, frankly. So I wanted to reformat everything in LaTeX, make it look nice, hook up with a print-on-demand service and get all that working out. And this year I sort of in earnest was like, okay, I'm going to finish this. I want to finish this in February. Now, due to no fault of my own, I'm sure I was lazy from here, one time or the other, but for reasons outside of my control, this is still not done. And I put out a video the other day asking people, basically, could you help code this website because I don't want to deal with it. I have all the content. I just don't want to have to figure out Stripe APIs or Stripe's API or Lulu's API. Anyway, a million people emailed me. So I am sure in those millions of emails, which I have not been able to read because I was seeing a friend all weekend and I didn't want to be weird and look at my computer. I'm sure that the answers are all there. But so if you email me, I will look at that. Don't feel left out. I don't know if I'll be able to, respond to everyone, but I'm going to look at those. I have not had the chance to do it, but once I get home, I will. Okie dokie. So I will read whatever donations we already have. Okay. Yes, thank you, YouTube, for telling me that I have a live stream now. So Lucero sends in $5, says, now I have a web and email server. Thanks, especially for the email whiz script. Yeah, so those of you who have not used my email wizard script should use it because it's the easiest way to have your own email. Just do it. Just do it. Let me look at the other. There's another one. Hold on. Yeah, a lot of people talk up having an email server like it's a really difficult thing, but it honestly isn't. Like installing it, if you don't know what to do, like if the options are all confusing to you, that can be difficult, but honestly, it's not difficult at all. maintaining an email server is not difficult, especially if you're just one person. Now, if you're managing an email service for 1 million people, maybe that's difficult. But, you know, for one person, everyone should have their own email server if you have your own website, and everyone should have their own website. Easy thing to do. Wow, I have like tutorials teaching you how to do that. I put out a video the other month. In 40 minutes, get your own website and email. Easiest thing in the world. Anyway, so let's see. I'll also look at the chat, because why not? Mac donates $5. What are your thoughts on VPNs? Are you very picky about always having a VPN on when you're out and about? WireGuard versus OpenVPN. Don't use a VPN. That is like the normie. That is like normie placebo garbage. VPNs are total wastes. They are just firstly, the only reason VPNs exist as an industry is because there are people who have server farms with nothing to do with them. So they're like, oh well, we could run VPN software, and then they sell. Like, having a VPN is such a waste of money. Okay. If you need to just proxy around some kind of government censor, use a proxy. You don't need a VPN for that. Your ISP does not, like, ISPs frankly do not have a record of caring about like what internet sites you're browsing. It doesn't get, like, what you do when you're having a VPN, you're saying, I don't want my ISP to have my browsing history. I want this VPN to have my browsing history instead. That's what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Especially because every VPN, functionally speaking, becomes a honeypot by definition. All right. And whenever people ask me about VPN, like, there's no reason to use a VPN. Okay. None whatsoever. Okay. If you need a proxy, use a proxy. You don't need a VPN. I know that Wolfgang did a good video on this a couple years ago, where he's like, you know, why it's a waste to use a VPN or something like that. And he has all the basic arguments, but really VPNs are just like normie placebo stuff. They're just not serious. Like, VPN users are the same kind of people who think, I don't know, who use VLC instead of MPV. Those are the kind of, like, people who know some things about technology, but they don't really, technology midwits, okay? I don't mean that in a bad way. If you use VLC, whatever. If you use a VPN, whatever. But it's just a placebo, and it costs you money, and it's possibly a honeypot. VPNs are useless, okay? You want privacy, you can use Tor for free, you know? All right. I'll look at, okay, Super Chats. Augustin sends in 10 ARS. I don't know what that is. Sends in another 20 ARS. Can you please say escape Latino America? I don't get it. Hashtag escape. I don't know if that's a meme or something. I don't get it. Yeah, VPNs. What else is a stupid meme that people talk about? I'm trying to think. There are so many things, like, especially in technology, where it's like what I said, you know, in the case of VPNs, people just have server farms and they want to do something with it. So they're like, oh, well, let's use it for VPNs. But there are other things like that as well. I'm trying to think. Like, a lot of software as a service kind of stuff is just like, you know, there are these companies who, especially, it's kind of a blight of open source, because, like, a lot of people in open source, they lack the vision to, I guess, monetize their product, which it's easy to monetize. You can monetize free software, okay? You can. But a lot of them, it's weird because they will try and get away from proprietary software, but often lead people into cloud computing, where it's not necessary at all. And cloud computing is worse than proprietary software. It's like instead of running proprietary software on your own computer, you just send your data to someone else and they compute on it, you know? So it's significantly worse. Okay. $10 from Brian. Are you able to find people to discuss big-brained topics within the country, or is that not something you care about? Well, that's a good question. Yes and no, I don't care. Like, it's not, like, firstly, most big brain topics, a lot of them are just pretentious topics, right? A lot of them, Like, I don't know, like you maybe if you're, let's say when I was a graduate student, I really like talking about particular things that, I don't know, I'm not going to say make me feel smart or make other, smart topics, but a lot of that stuff gets deflated once you have contact with reality. So do you, if when you move to the country, are you just going to find stupid people? No, obviously not. But you also, it will probably, your conversation will be better calibrated to reality. You will probably, it depends on what you mean by big brain topics, honestly. Definitely depends. But yeah, no, don't worry about stuff like that. $5 from BJ. I don't know exactly, if that's his name or whatever. Are you taking requests for your printing service? I'd love to read the Douay Reims in LaTeX. Printing so those that is a Bible translation. That's the Catholic one, right? Sort of the KJV, but a little before. Bibles are, when you print a Bible, it always has particular things about it. Like it'll have, the kind of golden pages on the side, and there's a different kind of leather, and it's sort of higher quality. So in terms of like text format, typesetting, I could easily do that in LaTeX. But I don't know if my print-on-demand service could be up to snuff. I don't know, but I've thought about that. I have some like non-canonical Bible books that I've, looked into printing, but, Okay, so, has a monitor 10, sends him $5. You changed my life in many ways. This is the least I can give you for designing the single most usable environment for a guy with OCD, ADHD, Tourette's. Okay. Well, that's not what I set out to do, but it's good that that helps. It's all about minimizing key presses as far as I'm concerned. But I'm sure that makes it makes it easier for many different people. So thank you for that. Binary Ghost sends in $5. Set up a VPN with a Raspberry Pi using your local Starbucks Wi-Fi or the local university. You can tape it under a table or desk. People ignore power cords. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you really want a VPN for some kind of privacy, you can just run your own VPN software and like put a Raspberry Pi somewhere. So that would be the best way you could do it. But all these cloud computing VPN services, utter trash. Don't even bother. So yeah, but and people also they exaggerate the, like, your ISP doesn't really care about what you do, frankly, and they're bound by, at least in America, maybe it's different in other places, but they're bound by certain laws. So common carrier laws and stuff like that. They can't like ban you if you go to websites that they don't like or something like that. But I will say, like, the thing that people ask me most about is torrenting. So if I download a bunch of movies or whatever, am I gonna get zucked? Is my ISP gonna cut my internet off or whatever? Now, I don't consume product. You guys know I'm not gonna download new movies or something like that. I mean, that's what they care about, like recent movies, recent TV shows. Either way. Really, the only thing that happens when I have a friend who does do that, they just send a letter to your ISP, and your ISP sends a letter to you. Please stop doing this. And that's about it. I've never heard of anyone, like, I had a friend who used to download a bunch of stuff, and I never heard of him, losing his internet for that. But, whatever. Like, I don't do that. Like, I legitimately do not use torrents for anything copyright infringement-ish. Like, you know me, like, I'm not gonna watch TV and movies and stuff like that in general. I do have like a collection of some movies from years and years ago, but anyway. Okay, Mac donates $5. Why did you assume I meant paying for a commercial VPN? I meant running one at home mainly for use on public Wi-Fi that isn't using a WPA enterprise encryption. Okay, well, yeah, that's understandable. As I said in response to that other guy, if you're doing that, that's fine. Like, I don't find it very useful. Like, I don't really have a need to use a VPN or a desire to. But, I mean, sure, if you want to host your own, that's fine. But, yeah, like, 90% of the time when people are talking about, using VPNs, they're talking about, oh, get NordVPN or whatever. Some kind of software as a service thing. Okay. Square 365, blah, blah, blah. He's a long email address. He just donated $5. How about Tor over VPN? Preferably Proton VPN. Greetings from Peru. Yeah, I mean, Tor is definitely better than VPN. But I've heard bad things about Tor as well. Not enough for me. I'm not familiar with them enough to like respond to them. But from my understanding, it's pretty easy like to set up a bogus Tor node and compromise people's privacy and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like when it comes down to it, I'm not really a private person on the internet. I mean, obviously I put up a bunch of videos, so and I don't really like. I feel like a lot of people using VPNs are just like coomers who don't want their ISP to know what things they coom to. And I am not a coomer. And pornography is degenerate. So I have no need for that. It's funny. Like I once heard one time, I don't know if this is true, but when you apply to, I don't know, this might totally be an urban legend or something like that. But I heard if you like apply in the American government, like to be a CIA agent or something like that, they ask you all these personal background questions. And one of them is list out all the porn sites you've watched in the past 2 years. And of course, if I ever joined the CIA, I would have to answer, well, none. And then they wouldn't believe me because coomers are so ubiquitous nowadays. But, yeah, don't watch porn. It's disgusting and stupid. Farzan F donates $5. Do your friends and family know you have a YouTube channel or do you keep it a secret? Well, you can't really keep many secrets when you put things under your name on the internet. I never tell anyone that I have a YouTube channel, but I think pretty much everyone I know and everyone I know, who knows someone I know, knows that I have a YouTube channel. For some, but I never tell people, and I think it's awkward to bring up. And when people ask me what I do, I mean, I'll tell them the truth. Like, I do different things online and make money, which YouTube is a part of that. It's probably one of the most important parts because that's where people find the other stuff I do. But everyone knows that. All my family knows that I have a YouTube channel, and they keep up or whatever. Wired in Libertine sends in $5. No comment. Thanks for that donation. All right, let me look at some super chats if there's some that have come in. So again, super chats. It's better to use the donate link that's right there. Am I pointing to it? Yeah, because YouTube. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down. Okay, Jacob sends in $5. Been enjoying your stuff. Tried installing Artix today and couldn't figure out Xmonad installation. Trying Arch and having trouble. Wish me luck. Okay, good luck. I've never used Xmonad. Once I used DWM, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is how it's supposed to be. And a lot of people ask me. A lot of people get confused. They think my channel is like me reviewing a bunch of bajillion different software programs that isn't. It's really just, a couple of years ago I started using Linux and I gradually converged on a particular config, like, a setup and different programs I use for this or that. And really my YouTube channel was just doing one video on all the different software, here's a video on my file manager. Okay. Did a video on Ranger. I don't even use Ranger anymore. I use LF. I haven't done a video on LF, but I'd go through all my software project and that'd be it. Now, a bunch of other people, Brody Robertson or DistroTube or stuff, like they sort of came after me and did the same kind of stuff, but they just review everything. Okay. I don't do that. Okay. I don't care about all these window managers. Like I know about them. I've used some of them. I've booted into them. I do not care about them. It took people originally I used i3 gaps because that was that's the most well-used one out there. There's a lot of documentation, a lot of examples you can look at. But people, since I started my YouTube channel, were like, try DWM, try DWM, try DWM. It's exactly what you want. And I, at first I was really hard to sell on that. What, I have to compile it every time I change something? That sounds weird. but compiling takes like literally 1 second. And yeah, and it's nice. Like suckless software is fantastic, exactly because of the reason that people are afraid of it. The fact that you can modify the source code, or that you have to modify the source code, quote unquote. Like the source code is the config file, and it's built in a way so that the source code, you just have this header file that has all the variables. But it's much better. I keep burping. It's nicer just to have, like, there's no border between a config file and the source code. That's the best part, R3N sends in 50 ARS. Hola, le podés mandar un saludo a Jimmy y a Ren. Okay, I don't know who those people are, but hello, people. Himi or Shimi. Depends on where that person comes from. Luke wearing a button-up brings me... Oh, this is $4.99 from the Gator. Luke wearing a button-up brings me the same feels I got when he shaved his head. Only the real boomers will get this, yeah. I actually have been wearing extreme boomer gear recently. So I went on this trip, okay? And I had a couple goals in this trip. I was seeing a friend. That was like the nominal reason for going. But additionally, I was like, okay, I dress like a graduate student. Okay? Because, yeah, like in graduate school, everyone dresses like it's a flex. Like if you're a good graduate student, if you're like, smarter than everyone else, you dress like trash. Okay, it's the same thing in IT. You guys in the IT field will sort of understand this. Like if you're at a corporate meeting and everyone has suits on, and then there's one guy with like a Metallica shirt, two things. One, he's the IT guy. Two, he's in control of everyone. Okay, and you know that because he wears whatever he wants. Okay, same thing in graduate school. You dress like trash. It's like a signal. However, I'm not in graduate school anymore, so most people look at me. I feel like, oh, he's the guy who wears like generic, I don't know, whatever shirts that aren't, Anyway, so on the trip I took this week, I deliberately took no clothes because I was like, I'm going to force myself. This is how, in order for me to consume product, it's so hard that I have to literally force myself to do it. So I was like, I'm not going to take any clothes. I am going to force myself. If I want to change clothes, I have to go to the store and buy stuff. And that is so hard to get me to do. But I succeeded. I actually got some good deals, to be honest. Oh man, I got some based boomer shorts, let me tell you. Well, not really boomer shorts, but like elegant waspy khaki shorts. Or they're not really khaki material. They're just nice. Got 3 pairs of them for $40. Can you believe that? Wow. Anyway, all right, I'm going to check donations. Deange97 just donated $10 a month. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and you can donate per month. I'm trying to move away from Patreon. I mean, I haven't really used Patreon in like freaking years, but I still have a Patreon. But you can donate monthly on my, donation thingy there. Anyway, he says, I'm a research mathematician, but also becoming more and more fluent in Latin since I found your videos 2 years ago. Do you know of any interesting old text, Latin or Greek, related to mathematics? Also, I want to consume more not related content. On mathematics, I mean, you could go with the absolute classics, like Euclid's, what are they called? Not principles. What's freaking Euclid's classic work? Anyway, it's in Greek, where like he goes through, here my postulate, like take your axioms and work through postulates to derive everything in geometry. You could call that math. I don't know if you consider geometry math or not. But I don't know, like that's a domain that I'm not quite sure about. I will say in one of the books that I'm reprinting, Isidore's Etymologies, there is a pretty big section on math, but I haven't actually read that much of it. But he actually has some simple off-the-cuff proofs, like a proof that there's an infinite number of numbers or stuff like that. Not really a formal mathematical proof, but so I don't know. I mean, look into Euclid, I guess, and people who were writing in response to him. They say Abraham Lincoln always kept a booklet of Euclid in his back pocket. I don't know why. I don't know why they said that. I don't know if that's true. Okay, what is that book called? Euclid's... What is his classic work? It probably, most classical works, they don't actually have titles. Let's see. It's probably just called his geometry or something like that. But anyway. All right, so thank you for that $10, though. BJ donated $5. My name is Brian, by the way. Sorry for the cringe Gmail account. What RSS feeds do you follow? What RSS feeds do I follow? Let's look at my RSS feeds. Well, start from the top. I have a couple software projects, only Arctics, to see if I need to manually update something, and unimportant stuff. PeerTube I watch. Let's see. I have Razib Khan's RSS. I have RISC-V's RSS. I have a couple normie friends of mine. They have YouTube channels, and I keep their stuff in there. I have Varg has a blog apparently that he never updates, but I have that. Based Cooking, Survive the Jive. I guess I have Nassim Taleb's YouTube channel here. Varg's wife, Sfarage, both of Sfarage's channel. Sam Hyde's channel, which he puts something up on once in a blue moon. And a bunch of other stuff. In terms of technology, the only guys I have in my RSS feed on YouTube that are technology are Brody, which I don't really watch Brody's videos. I know I recommended people to watch his stuff. That's just because he's doing stuff. I don't know, doing stuff that people might like. I don't really have a need to watch most of his stuff. But I have Brody. I have Mental Outlaw, who's, you guys know, he's my deepfake blackface channel. If I get banned, make sure to subscribe to Mental Outlaw, because, that's my channel. And MSJ CHE, whatever his name is. Who never puts up videos, but I have him in there anyway. And I also have Kai Hendry and Chris Acapinti and Gopletu, who I don't think really posts anymore. Or, no, he does. And then I have base stuff like VaticanCatholic.com. Gotta have that. What's it? Let's see. And Donald Sanborn's Sede Vacantis Chapel. Uns.com. I read that. Sorry, I shouldn't go through this whole thing because that's going to be boring. That's just an example. Really, I try and keep my RSS feeds pretty low. There's probably some of that I could clean out, but whatever. Farzan F donates another $5. Have you ever thought of a merch store? Yes, I have, and I'm not going to do it. I know someone like you would find that super cringe, right? Oh, wow, you preempted my answer as I said it. Yeah, you are never going to see any kind of merch for me unless it's ironic. Extreme. One thing I thought about doing merch for is I wanted to have a face mask, because obviously I never wear freaking face masks, but I want a face mask that's like the soy boy chin, with hairs and an open mouth. That, if I had a face mask, that's what I'd wear, because that's how I look at everyone who wears a face mask. It's like, that is pathetic. Let's see. Jack sends in $3.99. Would you consider an interview with Justin Murphy? Yeah, I think I talked about that in the last stream. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't know if he saw that or responded to that. Yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago, he asked me to go on his podcast or whatever, or talk to him or something like that. And I think we just got lost in an email chain or something. I probably missed an email and we never ended up doing it. But yeah, that's fine. I talked about it in the other stream because I was like, oh, I need to get I want to get interviewed by someone about my time in university, because it's more of a discursive conversation you have to have. I can't just talk, as myself. And I just randomly mentioned him. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Oh, I read that one. Oh yeah. And on the merch, yeah, I'm never going to do merch because it would be totally contradictory. Although I did say that if I ever start a craft that I could send via mail, some kind of simple, I don't know, carving homemade spoons or something like that, I would be happy to have an online store. But I'm not. Merchandise, excuse me, makes me want to vomit blood. I think it's disgusting. I mean, you guys know me. Do I have anything on my shirt? No, I don't have any. Like I always wear most generic things. It's cringe to do anything else. I would cringe if I saw someone on the street with like my merch, if that existed. I would just be so embarrassed. Oh my goodness, this is real life. This is not the internet. What are you doing, buddy? But I don't know. Maybe I can think of something. There might be something that I can think of. Like, I don't even know, man. Refurbished computer, the refurbished ThinkPads. I don't know. But yeah, no merch. I don't do that. Non-existent email at gmail.com just donated $5. Thank you, non-existent email. I got a job at a data center thanks to you introducing me to Linux, so thanks. I know you don't do phones, but what model do you recommend to root into or just for privacy in general? So ironically enough, the best phones to get are Google phones. If you want to de-Google your phone, get a Google Pixel. Not just any Google Pixel. Go to Graphene OS, look up Graphene with an N OS, and that is a ROM that you can install, like an all-free software ROM you can install on phones, and they run on Google Pixel devices. Google actually does pretty good at letting people root their phones if they know what they're doing. They're usually not too difficult. So ironically enough, as I said, get a Google phone to de-Google, your Android. It's harder to do in other models, but whatever you do, look at Graphene OS or some other kind of all-free software ROM. Graphene OS is the most reliable. But just look up them or whoever and make sure that, then look at their list of models, okay? And you can probably buy, like the phone that I have now that I got to install a free software ROM on, I bought it for $150 on eBay when I needed a new phone. That was it. So that's pretty good as far as the phone's concerned. And they run on older hardware. And it's the same thing with like running Linux on a computer. You can run Linux on a 10-year-old computer and it's going to run like new. That's just how it is. So yeah. So that's what I recommend when it comes to phones. And I do, I'm still not going to do videos on like phone stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will at some point do something like that. But just in general. Tiberius67 sends in $5. Is it gay to use Neofetch with an old teletype? Yeah, Reddit fetch is lame no matter what. No matter what you're using it on. Okay, so here's something. I thought about doing a video on this. Actually, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not true anymore. But the guy who made Neofetch, his name is Dylan Araps or something. Araps, I'm not quite sure how he pronounces it. But he made Neofetch. He also made Pywall. So that's the thing that, keeps all your color schemes in sync. Makes a color scheme based off of your wallpaper and stuff like that. And he made a bunch of other cool stuff, like he has a GitHub repository called the Bash Bible and one called the Pure Shell Bible, which are great resources for doing things, doing complex things just in native Bash or POSIX SH. Anyway, so this kid, Dylan, and I say kid, he's like 20-something, like younger 20s. And he even had a Linux distribution a while back. A couple months ago, he just mysteriously disappeared from the internet. And I don't think anyone really knows what happened with that. I don't know. Maybe I remember looking for him like a couple weeks ago. He literally just one day, all of his Git commits, like he stops making commits and he stops doing things and he just sort of disappears. So it's sort of mysterious. Like, I don't know. Did he die? Did he, I don't know, have amnesia? Did he just get a girlfriend or something? You never know. So I don't know if he's come back since the time I looked that up, but it's sort of a mystery. What happened to Dylan? What happened to this guy? I don't know. He was doing all this stuff. He was very precocious. Like he's a young guy doing all this crazy stuff. I mean, he might have written some of this stuff when he was still a teenager. But anyway, yeah, any kind of Reddit fetch thing is pretty lame, to be honest, though. All right, let me look for super chats or something. I I'm going to look at the chat. If anyone knows what happened to Dylan, say so. People are saying the Glowies, the CIA. R.I.P. Dylan. Glowies for sure. He went into the country. Maybe that's true. Maybe he watches my videos and he got inspired to... Yeah, like the actual red pill of my channel is stop using a computer, which even I have not taken. I'm not quite there, but there's going to be a point where I'm like, oh man, that's you know, that's what I have to do. COVID's death, yeah, it could be it. Imagine having a girlfriend, lol. Dylan and Terry death must be related. What's Reddit fetch, lol? Neofetch. Reddit, because Redditors use it. I don't know, people are just writing random letters. I don't know what that's about. E and G. You're gonna drop some based. This is Adrash. You're gonna drop some based medieval philosophy today. Ooh, there's a video I've been meaning to make for a while on based medieval philosophy. I don't know if you guys are ready for that. I don't know if you guys are ready for. Let's see. I have a couple good ones. I mean, I did one on how the word nature has changed in its meaning. Another one I want to do is like the definition of the word freedom, which now means basically the opposite of what it used to mean. In practice, not in all respects, but if you look at how Romans and Greeks and early Christians use the word freedom, nearly entirely the opposite of how it's used now. And then also, what else? There's one other, shoot. Oh yeah, I got to red pill people on contraception because that's based. So, all right, let me check the donations. Check from, or email from my hotel. Thank you, telling me that I've logged in, or signed in, or whatever. Dylan replied to you in a recent video. He's mad you called him a soy dev, but he still wants to talk, preferably in person. I think you're getting two people confused. I think you're getting Dylan confused with Justin Murphy. Oh boy. No Never sends in 5 SGD. I sold all my crypto except an undisclosed amount of XMR and ETH. Did I make a big mistake? Yeah, selling crypto I view as pretty much always cringe. Enjoy your capital gains tax. Actually, maybe you're not an Amerimut, so maybe it's not an issue. But yeah, selling it is one thing. Converting it to XMR, converting it to Monero, good idea, probably. I don't know if it's actually going to go up or whatever, but $5 from Dr. Cruz. Justin Murphy responded to your soydev physiognomy claim and called you out on Livestream. You must accept his offer to duel at your Florida tree house. Responded to my anyone who disputes. Well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. You know, we should talk in person if we're gonna do something like that. But someone said something like that he had gotten mad that I said he looked like a soy boy or something like that. Where like, okay, if you're an uninterested party right now, go to YouTube right now, pull up a tab, and search for Justin Murphy and look at his picture. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm not saying anything bad about him. I said good things about him, in fact. But the claim as to him being a soy boy-like, I think that is beyond question. And if he's confused by that, I don't know. Anyway. Cohen Goldbergen Steinowitz sends in $5. Computers are witchcraft. Yes, that's actually true. Based. Okay, is it getting laggy? What is so bad about Neofetch? Neofetch is useless. It's literally a program that people use just to show pretty things and take pictures of it and put it on Reddit. Okay, it's literally the Instagram of the Linux world. Okay, that's what it is. It's like when you use Neofetch, you are just like a girl who, takes whatever food she gets at whatever restaurant and like dutifully organizes it and then takes a picture and puts a filter on it and puts it on Instagram. That is what Neofetch is. Same thing with ScreenFetch. That they are functionless programs that just look cool for people who don't know any better, but they're just stupid. They're just useless. It's the same thing. Like, and all these people who do the screenshots on Unix porn, or they put their little, screenshots on 4chan or something like that. It's all the same crap, because it's like, okay, listen, you got a nice configuration, that's fine. But people just pull up Windows to look busy, and it's so cringe. It's like, oh, pull up ScreenFetch, pull up Neofetch, pull up HTOP for some reason, just because it has a bunch of colors. And it's just stupid looking, because no one actually ever, who uses HTOP? Every once in a while, I'll pull up HTOP for something. But in real life, you do not just keep an HTOP window open, looking at it all the time. No one does that. So the whole thing is just contrived. It's like maybe to a normie who's not like using a computer all the time or using Linux, or maybe who just got into it, that looks really smart. But it's just cringe. It's faking it. It's faking it, If I'm going to take a screenshot of my setup to look good, I'm going to make sure that it's in a naturalistic, like this is something I actually do. Okay, the split second that I'm getting this. Okay. All right, 10,000 COP from Mateo. I don't know how much that is, but it's a big number. I emailed you some time ago, but I forgot my password, LMAO, so I'm here again. What are your thoughts on Nicholas Gomez's Escolios? I have that book. I used to keep it on my coffee table when I was when I lived in Arizona. So yeah, it's a good book. I think people should recommend it, or should read it. I recommend it. But Jew sends in $5 and says, post on Fediverse more. Your friends want to see your quips and hot takes. Yeah, I probably will. There's a couple videos I have recorded and I have not put up just on that. Like there are a couple PeerTube exclusive kind of things I want to do that you can't really get away with on YouTube. Not that they're actually based in Red Pill or anything, but they're just, Nick sends in $5. Have you ever spent any significant time learning a system of meditation, Buddhist, Christian, secular, or otherwise? If not, why not? Meditation as itself, okay, it's just sitting there and doing nothing, okay? Just sitting there and thinking about things, So, like, meditation you have to think of as being an alternative. It's really just a vaccine against having noise in your brain all the time. I don't really find it necessary, because I'm not one of those kind of people who has to listen to music or podcasts all day, or just, has to watch videos or something. Like, learning to sit there in silence or do something contemplative. See, I don't think that there should even be a word for that. I don't like the word meditate. I think it's sort of cringe, because it more and more is becoming just people who are, dopamine addicts, who can't function. And so like meditation is this word they use for like not being plugged into the matrix. Okay. So I don't really view that as something unique. I don't really view that as, oh, meditation. This is normalcy, frankly. So that's my view on it. Sorry if that sounds mean or something. I don't know. Adam Klein sends in $5. Family, marriage, fatherhood. Do you expect to enter to this domain in the next 5 years? Will this happen pre or post a computer-free life? Well, I don't know. I'll probably still be using computers into the future. I don't know about that. I don't know. Well, maybe I might just get sick of it and quit. So we'll see, though. I don't know. All right, let me check my donations. Okay, non-existent email donates $5 again, or maybe it's someone else using the same non-existent email. I hope you didn't get emailed when. I hope you didn't. You don't get emailed when you donate. May have filed a random email for this with my payment info. Had another question: is the AUR a security risk? I get worried on depending on entering info into Brave via Manjaro repos in the AUR since they aren't official. Well, I mean, there's oversight of them and that they have to be added to the. Well, I think you should be careful with the AUR. Like theoretically, let's say, I have a couple of software projects in the AUR. Let's say Mutt Wizard. Theoretically, I could install, change something to the next version that will be automatically pushed that does something malicious. But I don't know. Just in practice, I've never really heard of anyone exploiting the AUR like that. I guess you could be more careful. You probably should. But I don't really... When it's something like Brave, I don't know who runs the AUR package for Brave. I don't know how that is, but, I'm not quite sure. I don't really think about it. So, my name sends in 200 rupees. Pajit here. What do you think of Apple moving to RISC? Will Linux be ready for it? RISC. Okay, that's something, I don't know, that's an acronym I've heard, but I don't really know off the top of my head. RISC. Is that some kind of CPU thing? I don't freaking know if it is. Anyway, to answer your question, whatever it is, yeah, Linux is fine. Linux is going to be fine. I don't know about, I don't know about that. I can't respond with any technical stuff. All right. Okay. Oops, sorry. I already read that one. Okay, so Hunter sends in $5. Donating to express my attention for your... appreciation for your Nginx plus mail server tutorial. Also bald. I don't get it. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, so that's the easiest way. 40 minutes, get an email server in a whatever. Wired in Libertine just donates $5. Pro tips for recovering matrix cattle. I don't know, like you're using matrix and you want to use XMPP or something. I'm not quite sure. Or no, you mean matrix? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood that. I guess you just mean someone who's not a blue-pilled normie anymore. Honestly, just separate yourself from social media. That's mostly of what you have to do. There's a video I was going to record. Like I had a email printed out that I was going to respond to talking about this. Yeah, honestly, just separate yourself from like any kind of controlled social media and invest yourself in reality. Reality meaning things you see in real life, not things on the internet. That would probably be the solution to pretty much everything, but All right, people are saying it's laggy, I think. Let's look at this. Oh, yeah. Pulse audio is the culprit, guys. Tell me if the audio is good. Because if the audio is good, I might keep going. All right, Farzan F donates $5. Have you heard of Jesse Lee Peterson, fully based in Red Pill to Conservative on YouTube? I've heard of him. I don't really watch that kind of stuff, but he definitely seems based in Red Pilled. But yeah, I know of him existing. That's about it. He says some funny things every once in a while, but Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat. Tell me if it's slow. Because my CPU, oh my goodness, it's like, yeah, it's Pulse Audio, kids. Pulse Audio is the culprit here. It did this last time, slowing everything down. Okay, I can't even pull up the chat. People say the audio... okay, now I have it. People are saying the audio is good, but the video is super low. Okay, yeah, it's Pulse Audio's problem. That might sound... Oh, well, it's an audio problem. Why is it... why would Pulse Audio... Or if the audio is fine and the video is screwed up, why would Pulse Audio be the problem? Well, it's taking up, like, all of my CPU now. This is what I was doing, like, 2 weeks ago when I was trying to stream. This is very stupid. I wonder if I kill Pulse Audio, would that kill the stream, or would it have to? Oh, now it says OBS is like going super fast. Okay. Yeah, I might stop streaming in a bit if it's going that, because if it's going slow now, it might go slower sooner as time goes on. So go ahead and give any final donations or comments, and I will read them. Just use ALSA if all you have is one mic and one set of speakers. Okay, well, ALSA doesn't... There are a million things that ALSA does not do that is way too hard to figure out, and get working. Also, ALSA doesn't even, like, record... frankly, it doesn't even record, like, live streams... Not live streams. Screencasts very well. It's hard to get the right quality. You have to increase the max input volume, and that requires some other... plug-in, and you gotta get 5 plugins to have basic functionality. ALSA is just not worth having for doing anything. Like, unless you're just passively consuming infotainment, ALSA doesn't work. So that's too bad, but that's how it is. Yeah, and I tried Pipewire the other day, but it was having the same problems that... Honestly, the problem is that it might actually be OBS, frankly, because OBS is the one that's taking all of this. I don't know. It's taking most of my CPU. Pulse Audio is pretty high up there, but yeah. We know, well, as I said in the title of one of the streams I did the other week, OBS does suck. It's sucky software, and it's sucky software because they signed the anti-RMS petition. That's like your number one sign that, a software project is totally compromised. And GNOME signed it as well. And, of course, Furry Fox, I'm pretty sure. So, all right. Okay. Let me check for donations briefly. Oh, none since I last checked. All right. Maybe things are actually slowing down. I'll look at the chat. Vulture blocks SMTP. Update your stuff, bro. Well, if you read the manual, you'd see that. Thoughts on Mac OS? No. Paulo sends in 5 reals. Have you ever considered to become a soy digital nomad? Not seriously. Every once in a while I do think about, if I wanted to go on an extended trip, it wouldn't be too difficult for me because I could just actually do what I'm doing now. Stay in a hotel, do a live stream every night, every other night, and, make some of the money back, So it would be pretty, it would be a possible thing to be a digital nomad. But obviously that is not a lifestyle. I don't know. If I really wanted to go on a tour across America, I could probably pull that off. But I don't really have the need to doing that or the desire to do that because I hate driving. I really hate driving. People don't understand it. Pottering has suggested to GNOME to make systemd an external dependency. We are well on our way to systemd plus Linux. Yeah. Pfft. Yeah. Well, again, compromise software projects. Don't, that's, people ask me all the time, what do I think about GNOME? What do I think about systemd? What do I think about blah, blah, blah? And most of these kind of they're not normie friendly, but you know what I mean? Like the often shilled corporate... the corporate side of Linux I have so little interest in it because you don't need it. Like, I mean, it's not really forced. Like, people pretend it's forced on you if they don't know anything, because they're like, oh well, all these distros are using systemd now, but it really isn't. Like, you can just separate yourself from it. So I really just don't care about the stupid drama. Like, if you really took seriously the drama with systemd and GNOME and all this anti-RMS stuff and anti-free software stuff and all the SJWs who are taking over all these corporate projects, if you really cared about any of that kind of stuff, you could just not use that software. That's it. That's all you have to do. You never have to worry about it. But, you know, a lot of people just like talking about it. But I guess I'm using OBS and they signed against RMS, which makes them basically just as bad. So I should be streaming with just FFmpeg. If anyone could give me a one-off FFmpeg streaming command for streaming to RMTP, I don't know. I could probably Google search it. I don't use Google, but you know what I mean. Shut up. Binary Ghost sends in $5. You can just open a support ticket with Vultr and ask them to open up SMTP. You just have to promise to not be a spam spreader. Worked for me. Yeah, well, that's in the README if that guy had read it, you know. That's why you read the README, kids. Did I not say that in the video? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Either way. Okie dokie. Yeah, I want to do some more. I'm going to be writing up some more stuff for my website soon, like guides and stuff. That's going to be my new thing. I want to do more like text interface stuff. All right, I'm going to look at the chat for a second. Yeah, people are saying that the stream is still laggy. The video is freezing. You can't mine Monero and stream at the same time. Yeah. Oh, I might need to download. I might need to sync my Monero blockchain. I remember when I first got into Monero. Everyone should get into Monero. It's the only cryptocurrency that matters, frankly. Or it's the only one that's an actual real currency that matters. Or at least it's the best out there. Actually, that's one of the articles I was writing. Well, I wrote one maybe last week on Monero. Just go to my website, lukesmith.xyz. I wrote an article on Monero and why it's good and why it's better than Bitcoin and stuff like that. There was another one I was going to write comparing Monero with other privacy coins. Like, Monero has some minor competitors, and I want to explain why, you know, what's good or bad about them. I think I've written basically most of it out. But, yeah, get into Monero if you're not in it, because it's a great thing. But when you first get into it, if you want to do it right, you have to download the pruned Monero blockchain. So that's what I've done. And it's like 30 to 40 gigabytes. And if you want to get the new update, you know, get the new exchanges, you know, addition blocks, I guess, on the blockchain, you got to sync every once in a while, right? So that's what I got to do. It's not difficult. It's just like, you know, updating your computer. You download the blockchain. But it's so, like, that's what's nice about Monero, though. You can have just an offline copy of the whole thing. And, well, you can do that with other cryptocurrencies. But Monero does it right because ideally you want privacy to such an extent that, you know, you have a local copy so you don't have to interact with any foreign copy when you're creating transactions and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, let me check donations. So, Joe donates $100. All right, thanks. That'll pay for my hotel. Thoughts on WSL? I guess that means the Windows subsystem for Linux. I don't know if there's anything else for that. I mean, when it comes to the Windows subsystem for Linux, you know, I am never in my life going to use Windows again. That's just how it is. So it's not really germane to me. at all in that sense. Like this goes for pretty much any kind of proprietary software. I think a lot of people who are on the cusp of using free software, they'll use some proprietary stuff. Maybe they got dual booted, Windows and Ubuntu. Maybe they have Linux on their laptop and Windows on their desktop, something like that. And they have sort of one foot in both sides, right? But once you are fully on the free software side and you have a setup with that, you never really look back. So I don't really, I don't know. Maybe the Windows subsystem for Linux is a big deal for some people, but it isn't for me. I guess it came out after I stopped using Windows. So it's not a big issue. Now, I'm sure that now I don't know anything about like how they implemented everything, but I'm going to guess that there's going to be some weird standardization problems because I'm sure Windows messed something up. But I don't know, isn't it just running like Ubuntu or something? I don't exactly know. But yeah, it's just not a big thing for me. I mean, a lot of people ask me not just about that, but let's say I don't know, getting proprietary NVIDIA drivers on Linux. I'm just not interested in that, because it's not on my radar. I don't use one of those devices with that requires proprietary stuff. I when I buy a computer, I specifically look, okay, is this a classic thing? Is it going to run ThinkPads, of course, are the easiest way. You get a ThinkPad, it's going to work pretty much on Linux. Most computers all computers are going to work on Linux, but some of them you might have to replace the Wi-Fi driver or something like that. That's on, rare occasions. But either way, well, actually, you don't even have to do that. You usually just have to get firmware. I'm talking about for all free software distros. Anyway, it's just not a concern to me. Like once you take that step into all free software, it's not, you don't really look back. You're not really thinking about it. It's just not very interesting. So. Okay, let's see. Okay, ISAG97 donates $3. Post is too long. Sorry. Here is a paste bin. Okay. All right. Let's look at this. Okay. This is a bunch of text. Luke, I'm turning 24 this month and I need a wife. I feel the need to start a family and I think I'm doing everything right. I read my Bible and go to church and I have a good job and I pray and I use my talents to use my talents to the use of the Lord, record and edit daily sermons for my dad, stream church services twice a week, mow the lawn at church, etc. Yet no matter how hard I try it, I can't try to court women. It just never works. I have a good Christian female friend. I guess he thought was based in Red Pilled on the censored for YouTubes and everything. I invited her out on wholesome friendly dates, feeding the homeless during Thanksgiving, going out, giving them Bibles and tracts, going to nature and reading Bibles next to rivers. This last Christmas, I hand casted a silver cross necklace for her and told her how about I felt my intentions. I sent it by mail and she never talked to me again. Should I just give up on women, or will God provide me with a QT wife on this time? Yeah, okay, so I get weird emails like this where, let's see, what happens is, this happens all the time. If you're young and there's some girl you like and she doesn't like you back, and there are all these guys who like get super depressed and it's pathetic about it. Like I will get long post emails about this, okay? You need to care, like I don't mean this in a bad way, but you cannot be too invested in one particular person. That you're not married to. Like that is just, no simping. Okay, that sounds very simping. And additionally, you started all your stuff saying, oh, I do this and that, when am I going to get a wife? Okay, you can't think of it in terms of, don't think of it in terms of, I do good things, God is going to give me something. Think about it as, I'm going to make myself worthy, and when the time is right, I will receive it. Okay? Wrong is just the wrong way to approach it. Okay? Don't think of it in terms of I deserve this. I'm not, you didn't say that, but you telling me all the things that you're doing as if that's, something to brag about. I mean, I'm not to say that you shouldn't brag about it, or you know what I mean. It sounded braggish to say it. So yeah, don't be invested. I mean, if she is not interested, if it was, I mean, if it was just a misunderstanding, okay, follow things up, fine. But if she was creeped out or isn't interested, like if you creep a girl out, she's not going to change her mind. Okay, I mean, that's my view at least. Maybe there's some times where that has changed. Oh, I don't even want to say you creeped her out. But if she's not interested, and frankly, it's the same thing with guys, right? Girls have this problem all the time because a girl will get in a relationship with a guy, and the guy just frankly wants to coom, right? Okay, and he doesn't really care about this girl. He doesn't want to marry this girl. This is something that happens to like guys all the time. Like most guys with girlfriends are like this. They're with a girl because they want to do marital things with them, but they're not interested in having like they don't want to get married, right? A guy like that, it's not going to change his mind. He's not going to be like, oh, here's this girl I've been with for years and I don't want to marry. I'm never going to be like, oh, now I want to marry her. That's never going to happen. So if a girl, like if you're a girl, if you're one of the two girls watching this right now, okay, if your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you now, he's never going to want to marry you. That's how guys work. And that's how girls work to some degree as well. Okay, girls have a little bit of warming up at the beginning. But if you had a relationship with this girl and were doing things with her, I don't want to use the word friend zoned, okay? Because that's overused or whatever. But there is a sense in which, like, if she doesn't have that natural attraction to you, it probably is not going to work, okay? Now, I'm not saying you should totally just ignore her. Maybe you should follow it up, but just be mature about it. Don't be, like, you're probably also admitting a lot of awkward things you may have done in this, okay? So be mature about it, be respectful, be aloof, be stoic, and the worst thing you could possibly do is put all of your emotions on this girl that has made no commitment to you. That is the worst thing you could do. Okay, so don't get too, and you saying, oh, am I ever going to get married because it didn't work out with this one girl. Okay, well, you know what? Listen, I have many ex-girlfriends, or even not even ex-girlfriends that I broke up with. I'm talking about there are many girls in my life that I liked, and all of them I'm glad it didn't work out. Okay, there's so many times you will realize in time that you dodge bullets. You dodge exactly the bullets you need to dodge. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that. He also says, also here's my Sam Hyde Gumroad subscription. Use it with the same email you get with this message. Okay. If I want to see Sam Hyde's freaking Gumroad thing, okay, I'll just in case I'll put that down. Well, thanks for that, I guess. I don't even know what Sam Hyde does, to be honest, nowadays. Did I close out of? All right. Tell me how the video is, by the way, guys, if it's stuttering or not. Hey, Luke, what's your opinion on WordPress? Any good alternatives other than vanilla HTML and CSS? Hold on just 1 second. Let me write. I gotta put something down. WordPress is terrible software. WordPress causes insane web bloat because it basically pulls all these plugins, and normies who don't this might sound bad because it's I don't know, it sounds elitist, but there's a sense in which WordPress makes making a website really accessible to normies, and it does not inform them about all the ways they might bloat or slow down their website. So there are a lot of people who really screw things up with it. Now, if you're smart, you might not have to do that. But either way, I'm not big on WordPress. I don't do it. I actually integrated tags on my website now. And that's just with a shell script, And that's my mindset. I think if you're making your own website, it's better to do it from scratch, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're writing it. That's just my view. And it's honestly a lot easier, frankly. It's harder to start out, but it's easier to get, to get it going. Or it's easier once you get it going. It's the same thing as Arch Linux, right? It might be hard to install. Or Artix Linux. We use Artix Linux now. No Arch friendship ended with Arch Linux. We use Artix Linux now. Either way, same thing with Artix Linux. Might be hard to install if you've never installed it before. Actually, they have automatic installers, unlike Arch. But if you're doing the minimal install, it might be difficult. But once you do it, you're like, oh, I understand how this works. Same thing with a website. You could use, freaking WordPress or some kind of JavaScript crap that automatically, what is it? Bootstrap? Is that the thing? No, whatever. Who cares? You could use some system that auto-generates a website, even a static site generator. But a lot of them are just, they're not doing something so complicated that it wouldn't be easier for you to just do it yourself and know how it works. Okay, that's my perspective. All right. All right, looking at the chat. Are you still using Parabola on your X200? Love ya. My X200 broke a couple years ago. There was some kind of electrical problem, so it's just in my closet right now. I don't know if I've... actually, no, it wasn't an electrical problem, or maybe it was. I want to say there was some kind of problem with Libreboot, and I was like, oh, I guess I could install the new version of Libreboot and see if this fixes it. And then I think something else came up, or maybe a part of it got, hit or something. So I've been using the X220 since then, which, in terms of security is not as good because, you don't have Libreboot and therefore you have the Intel management engine. But, I highly recommend the X200 for people. So... Okay, pretty soon. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, I might need to go pretty soon. So last minute donations or comments. I think I said that like 10 minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago. But so go ahead and get in last minute comments, donations. Oh man, I'm actually pretty tired. Oh, I need to lay back. I hate crouching over, like, having bad posture. Oh, this feels so much better. I should just do it like this. I can't hardly read everything. But, Well, hello there. I'm just hanging out. All right, I'll look at the chat. Why do you prefer Libreboot to coreboot? Because Libreboot actually gets rid of the Intel management engine and coreboot doesn't. Libreboot is actually like all free, so it enforces all free software. $4.99 from Reed. Luke, the other day, I accidentally added you on a matrix chat on Element. I was learning how it works. Oof. What Element matrix rooms are you in? I don't really use it. I use it for a personal chat and some of my IRL friends I talk to, but I don't really use matrix. I have it. I thought about doing videos on it. I sort of want to learn how to manage XMPP instead. Because it's technically a better protocol. So, but yeah, I don't really use Matrix. But it's something, if those of you who want like a all-free software, decentralized way of communicating to people that's actually private, unlike Telegram, unlike Discord, unlike blah, 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 Matrix is the thing to look into. Okay, it's basically like free software, self-hosted, and federated Discord. Okay, it's like that. And it has chat, and yeah, it has everything. Look into Matrix. And the main application that runs Matrix is called Element. Used to be called Riot, but they renamed it to Element. And so, yeah, I use it, but I only use it for some real-life friends. They used to have a Telegram group that they wanted me to get into, and I was in it for a while, but then I was like, dude, screw Telegram. It sucks. It's not private at all. They read all your group messages. You can't self-host it. So I just started a server for Matrix. It's very easy. excuse me, very easy to set up. The guy who runs Matrix, he has a video setting it up on YouTube. You can just look up install Matrix. Matrix Synapse, I think, is the name of the server software. But he does it really quickly. Gets a video chat server, all this kind of stuff set up. Very nice. And of course, the Element runs on every single operating system there is. And it's normie friendly. The reason I use Matrix instead of XMPP is Matrix is a lot more normie friendly, and I was going to have normies using this, even female girl normies. So I have to make sure that it's actually normie proof, So what do you think will happen after Corona-chan country collapses or things go back to normal? There's never going to be normal, because they're going to be shilling this thing for forever. Nothing ever goes back to normal. That's just how it is. Things always change slowly, imperceptibly, often for the worse. Okay. What home server do you use, Luke? I just host my own. What happened to Prince of Zimbabwe? He stopped posting when YouTube kept deleting some video he put up. Yeah, female girls. Real live female girls. Hold on. Let me check for donations. Sorry, hold on. Something fell out here. Okay, sorry. Had some email problems there. All right, Eleanor's sends in £2. He says, well, oh, sorry, I missed it. It was in Greek. I think he said, Christ is risen. Let me scroll back to it. Christ is risen. He's risen indeed. Yes. Yep. Yeah, it is. Oh, I totally forgot. It's Orthodox Easter, isn't it? Shoot. Oh, yeah. Dang. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Sorry, like Easter in the Western Church was so many weeks ago that I didn't even think about it. But yeah, it is, isn't it? Any Soylink updates? None since the last update I've said in in the last live stream. All right, let's see. Okay. Have you read that Seraphim Moreau's book on Genesis versus evolution yet? No, I haven't. I downloaded it. I couldn't find it in print, unfortunately. It's very hard for me to read things on a fake digital screen. But yeah, I mean, I sort of looked at it. I haven't found anything, great about it, but, nothing overwhelmingly convincing. I'll probably just tell people I'm going to be a creationist now. Just because why not? That's like, the biggest red pill. Not flat Earth. Actually, flat Earth is totally a Fed thing. The true red pill is the Aristotelian universe. That's actually true. The Earth in the middle. Everything, epicycles of things cycling around. Platonic solids around us. That's actually the true red pill. Yeah, flat Earth, that's totally like Fed stuff. That's like controlled opposition. And no one actually believed it in antiquity, flat Earth. It's totally just a meme. What's the temperature of the room you're in? Actually, it's sort of warm. Come to think of it, I want to turn on the AC. Usually, when I'm in a hotel, I always put it on max coldness. Because you get all the AC you can use, It's free, so who cares? I like it. I like it chilly in here. All right. $5 from Not Fidelity. Can we realistically return to Anprim mode? Seems like we're too far gone, and we've got to make the most of the current mess humanity is tangled up in. I mean, I'm not an Anprim. You have to be able to detach yourself from ideological autism, including terms like that. You have to realize, like, a lot of the things that those people say about nature and human relations and technology and stuff are true, but that doesn't mean that the best thing for you to do is to run into the woods, right? Which I don't recommend. Like, a lot of people think that that's what I recommend because I say it in hyperbolic ways. But no, I don't recommend that. I recommend people move to a rural area where they can have a normal life, which they can no longer have in cities anymore. Especially now since you can't go anywhere or do anything. Binary Ghost sends in $5. What do you think of this Hyperborea thing that's going around? Hyperborea, as in some kind of new meme? I mean, people have been talking about Hyperborea for a long time. All right, let's see. Beach House says heliocentrism is fake and gay. Yeah, heliocentrism is incredibly cucked. Beyond cucked. But, alright. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to go to bed. I'm getting tired. Gotta do my eveningly prayers. So, alright, I'm gonna say 5 minutes and I quit. I tap out because I'm tired. I'm a tired old boomer. Which means I'm gonna have to pull this thing up. $4.99 from Harris Newstetter. Keep peeled for those speed traps on 301, brother. 301, where is that? I don't think that's anywhere near where Highway 301. I'm gonna look that up. Where is that? Not the road that I've been trying. Oh, that goes like Delaware to Florida. Well, good guess as to where I am, but that's not where I am. No one knows where I am. If I died, no one could ever recover my body because no one knows where I am except for my credit card company, which saw me check in here. night, everyone. Oh, come on. Oh man, the rate.sx is down. That's a site you use CURL to download cryptocurrency prices. So all of my status bar modules are screwed up. They don't... Sucks. Darshire says, Ire, I don't know why I'm saying like it's an English word. What would you recommend to a kid who's going to uni, even if it's cringe, to study physics, but political BS is everywhere? Well, you probably won't have as much fun as you... I don't know, if you put your head down, you might be able to get out in some disciplines with a degree without too much psychological damage, but... for most people, there's no reason for you to ever go to college whatsoever. And now college is becoming like a liability for a lot of people. Like, you go into college and people think, wow, this person did nothing for 4 years. They just played around and, did stupid stuff. So, all right. Using credit card and you call yourself Uniboomer. Bro, I gotta get my cash back. Gotta get my 3% cash back with my Wells Fargo Propel card, bruh. No, literally, like, well, actually, there are reasons to use credit cards. I am totally fine with credit cards. I mean, if I were buying anything private, I would use cash. But, credit card... I mean, you guys have probably seen my videos where I talk about... using credit cards just to steal their introductory offers and then like not using them anymore. I'm doing a card like that now. I've done I think 3 this year. They're starting to catch on to me. Whenever I open a new credit card, I'll just have like $1,000 of a credit limit. Now I have a great credit history, a perfect credit history, great credit score. But since I've opened so many credit cards because I just churn them for the introductory offers and pocket the money, they give me like really small credit limits. Anyway. All right, everyone. So I guess I'll see you around. I'm freaking tired. I'm almost gonna be too tired to do my prayers, but since I said it in front of everyone, now I have to. Otherwise, not just God would punish me, but you guys would. All right, everyone. I'm going to turn it off. All right, good night.